Now, according to Michael Gove, back in 2018 when he was still the Environment Secretary, one of the opportunities of Brexit would be that it would allow the UK to set even tougher environmental standards than the EU. But as our Dorset reporter Tristan Pascoe has been finding out, being able to write our own rules may turn out to be not so good for a vital part of the insect world.
This is the third time we've reported on the plight of bees. 8 years ago, there were calls for a ban on pesticides that were harmful to bees. In 2018, the EU did ban them. But this year, post-Brexit, where EU directives no longer apply, the government has given limited permission for them to be used again. The government has allowed the use of neonicotinoid or neonics pesticides to tackle the spread of yellow virus in sugar beet. Spread by aphids, it caused the destruction of 80% of the sugar beet crop in 2020. Trouble is, using pesticides to protect one crop can seriously imperil bees and pollinators, affecting their ability to navigate and leading to real fears of a dramatic drop in bee colony numbers.
Pollinators are immensely important for our food and agricultural systems. If we lost them altogether, we'd have to spend in the region of 1.8 billion doing the work of pollinators by hand. That's a lot of work. They do all of that for free.
Wildlife trusts, conservationists and green campaigners have called it scandalous.
It's unacceptable. This comes just 6 months after the government passes its flagship Environment Act, where it committed to halting the decline of nature by 2030. And it's unacceptable to think that they've gone against scientific advice for the second year in a row to authorise the use of this neonicotinoid pesticide. It has catastrophic consequences on bee colonies. It can impact the way bees find food, reproduce, and even make them more susceptible to diseases.
Bees don't like this kind of weather, do they?
No, they like the warmth, they like the dry. A bit like me, rather be in Thailand.
With more than half of the bee population considered at risk, one local businessman and care home owner has made it his personal mission to do something about it.
Bee mission is an exploration to see how we can reverse the damage that chemicals and other businesses have done to the bee population. Bees are the most amazing creature that nature ever invented. Without bees, you'd have no crops, no flowers, no farms. So they're massively important to the ecology of the country.
So Chris plans to boost bee numbers across Dorset by installing hundreds of new beehives.
The last 2-3 years, we've got more into the bees. We've set up a pilot here, and we've got the first 10, 20, 30 hives going. And the aim is to spread this to at least, say, 500 hives around Dorset. Each hive contains about 50,000 bees, and each hive will produce about 20 kilos of good honey, all natural, organic honey, and it's a fantastic product.
Bee Mission 500 is also giving training and employment opportunities to homeless people in the county.
Obviously, I find that a lot of people are actually scared of bees and wasps and things like that.
Kim was rough sleeping 2 years ago, battling with addiction issues. Now, guided by Chris and the team, she'll soon be looking after hives of her own.
The boxes has every part of the beehive has his own purpose, okay?
Having something now to focus on and get stuck into and help me better myself as a person is, I can't even put that into words. If I had never met Chris and him suggesting to start up Bee Mission, I honestly don't know where I would be now. I mean, it's such a brilliant opportunity and it's given me some hope and some passion and a lot of potential and hope for a better future.
So as well as offering life-changing opportunities for people, the scheme hopes to give a much-needed boost to bee colonies. But environmentalists say it'll take more than a few hundred new hives and that pesticides should be banned.
We would like to see the government invest in farmers and work with farmers to help reduce their reliance on chemicals such as this through the Environmental Land Management Scheme. And first and foremost, they need to uphold the ban on neonicotinoids.
Brexit has, of course, changed the landscape for farmers and producers here, with a host of EU directives like the ban on pesticides no longer applicable. Some say lawmakers here need to do more to protect the environment. Is nature worse off now we're out of the EU?
There's potentially evidence that suggests that. For now, what we know is we need a ban because these are deadly chemicals, and at Hampshire and Isle of Wight Wildlife Trust we are certain that unless they are banned now, this could keep happening in the future.
It's fascinating that